So lovely to see you all. And yeah, welcome to this new term, this new academic year, really, of yoga practice. So making sure you really take good care of yourselves. And we're just going to spend the session feeling into what's here, perhaps noticing what feels open and loose and free and warm and maybe really relaxed. You might have done lots of swimming or things outside that's helped to really keep everything lubricated, and then other areas might feel a little tight or restricted or whatever. So just paying attention to that and letting it be as it is. It's all okay. So we'll start off with a lie down. Making sure you've got enough space and really checking in with what you need to be comfortable. So it might be that you want to get yourself a cushion or a pillow for the back of your head to support the neck, the shoulders. In any event, tucking the chin in so that there's a lengthening along the back of the neck. And then really paying attention to the spine and where it makes contact with the floor, and deciding whether it's comfortable for you to lengthen your legs away or whether you want to keep your knees bent, and just being aware of where to put your feet. So the further apart your feet go, the more of a stretch and opening it is for the lower back. So feeling into that. Just allowing the feet to drop and flop out to the side. And then taking the arms by your sides and perhaps lifting one shoulder up and then taking the arm further down the side and then the other. So you're placing your shoulder blades down either side of the spine, and if it's possible for you to turn your palms up to the ceiling, just let the fingers and the thumbs softly curl. But it might not be comfortable, so perhaps hands on the sides or wherever feels right for you. Wow. Noticing what it feels like to be back on your mat in this space, attuning yourself to yourself. So feeling into the body, closing the eyes if that's helpful for you. And noticing what it is like for you to allow the ground, the earth, to support the weight of your body. This experience is so familiar to you all, but sometimes we forget to do it. Is surrendering the weight into the ground, to the earth. And as you do that, noticing how that feels in your emotional part of you, that feeling tone to surrender. And automatically I take some deep breaths in and out. So you may well wish to do the same, as to take some nourishing breaths in through the nostrils and then sighing the breath out. Maybe really opening the mouth quite wide to release into the jaw. Making as much sound on the exhalation as you wish. And as you do this, feeling into the experience in all the joints and the muscles. Allowing a sense of softening to pervade the body. And being aware of how with each exhalation we're able to deepen into that softening. So there's sort of the gross letting go that happens first in the body, and then with every out breath it becomes more subtle. Aware of the rise and fall of the belly, the ribs, the chest with the breath. No forcing it, no trying to make anything happen. Being with things just as they are. Just starting to deepen the breathing. So drawing in the prana, the life force into the body. To nourish and replenish the energies. And start to have a little wriggle of the fingers and the toes. Doing so really gently and with awareness. Beginning to circle the ankles, the wrists, just slowly feeling into these parts of the body maybe you haven't been giving too much attention over the last couple of months. One way and then back the other. And then having a lovely long stretch. Take the arms up, push the heels away, lengthen through the spine. Oh, and then point the toes, feel that stretch through the front of the body. Just doing that a couple of times, flexing and pointing. And then gently bringing the arms down by your sides and bending the knees. So placing the feet hip distance apart. You might just want to remove your socks. Really spreading the toes, feel the ground with your feet. If you've got your head on a pillow or a block or something, taking that away from the back of the head. And just gently tilting the pelvis a little so that you feel that there's a little bit of tone in the core, but the whole of the spine, or as much of the spine as possible, is connected to the mat. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, drawing in through the pelvic floor, the belly button going down to the base of the spine, just pressing down into the feet a little as you tilt the pelvis. And then as you breathe back in, just rocking it back to neutral. So we're going to very gently start to rock the pelvis back and forth. Just keeping the spine connected to the floor. Aware of the breath in the body. The sensations of the pelvic floor, the belly button coming down. Good. And then next time you breathe out, we're just going to bring the right knee down towards you. Take the hands around that knee and drawing it down. So there's still the connection into the core. On the exhale, you're drawing the knee in. On the inhale, just gently away. So we can start to sense into how the hip is, what's going on for us in the lower back. Pressing down into the left foot, so that helps to open up a little bit more. And then taking that knee out to the armpits on the exhale, so just opening up into the hip a little further. And then we're going to start to just circle that knee around. So it might be that you put one hand, your right hand on the knee. I always like just the left hand on my left hip, but you might feel it more comforting just to keep hold of the knee with both hands. That's entirely up to you. And let's just feel into that hip joint. No expectations, just sensing into what's here right now in that right hip. And then taking it back in the other direction. Just slowly mobilizing the hip, feeling into the range, how it also feels in the lower back, around the tailbone. And then back to the center, drawing the knee back down towards you with both hands. And then take a breath in. As you breathe out, take the hands behind the leg and extend the leg away. Pushing the heel, pointing the toes, just pointing and flexing, noticing how your hamstrings are this morning. And circling the foot around. Helps to connect in with the calf muscles. Back the other way. Oh, nice click from my ankle. Lovely. And then bending that knee. And we're going to half lotus. So placing the right foot as high up the left leg as you can. So holding onto the right foot with your left hand and pressing that knee away with the right hand. So you're opening into the front of the abdomen to the hip flexor. Just pressing away to begin with. And then taking a breath in. And as you breathe out, drawing the left knee down towards you. So you're coming into half lotus. Oh, that's such a nice stretch on the right hip. Beautiful. Slowly ease that down. Both feet back down on the mat. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Oh, some natural breaths in and out. And notice the difference between the right and the left. And then we're going to repeat that all on the other side. So taking a breath in, breathing out, starting off by drawing the left knee down towards you. Pressing down into the right foot. As you breathe in, the knee goes away from you. And as you breathe out, comes down towards you. Good, and then gently easing that knee out to the armpit. Just taking it out to the side and noticing if there's a difference between this side and the other. There may well be. As you breathe in, release it a little, and as you breathe out, drawing it out to the armpit. And placing the right hand on the right hip, the left hand on the knee on the left side, and around we go. Just gently and slowly easing yourself around. And see if you can take the knee to its end of range of movement, as far as it can go. And around in one direction and then back the other way. And coming back into the center, both hands around the left knee. Once more, breathing in, breathing out. And then take another breath in. And as you breathe out, extending that left leg up to the ceiling. And point and flex. Good. And then let's just circle that ankle around, mobilizing into the calf muscles, the shin. Gently does it. One way and then back the other. Good. And then bending through the knee and taking the left foot as high up the right leg as possible, holding onto that foot and then pressing the left knee away with the left hand so that there's that beautiful opening through the front of the body. Feeling the hip opening, hip flexors. And deep breath in as you breathe out, sliding the hands behind your right leg, drawing the knee down. And just try and soften around the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. And use the breath to really ease that hip open. So this isn't static, this is an active movement. Perfect. And then gently and slowly releasing that, place both feet back down in semi-supine. Nourishing breaths in and out. And then have a lovely long stretch. Take the arms up, push the heels away. Oh, feel into the shoulders. And then we're going to bend the knees and just roll over onto the side before easing up to sitting. So nothing too fast or energetic this morning. Just sensing into what's here. So I'm just sitting on a block. It might be that you want to get something to sit on too. That's up to you. And let's just feel as we come into easy sitting posture. So I've got my right leg sort of alongside my left, but if you can't do that, then you can stretch your legs out in front of you, one or both of them. But we're not kind of sitting cross-legged. We're not sort of resting one leg on top of the foot. If that's sore on the hips and the hips don't allow you to do that, you might want to put something underneath the knees to allow you to be like that. So let's just feel into the spine from this position and closing the eyes if that's helpful for you. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, have that sense of lengthening up through the spine into the space above. And notice what happens to your knees. If you feel like your knees come up with you, see if you can release them down. And similarly, if your shoulders come up with you, see if you can just roll them back and down either side of the spine. What does it feel like to lengthen the spine in this way? Just drop the chin down a little. And as you feel that separation through the spine, you may be able to feel more of the breath in the body. So in the belly, perhaps the ribs, you might want to even take your hands to your ribs. Breathe into the hands. And around to the backs of the hands on the back ribs, really spreading the fingers wide. Feel the deep breath and how the ribs expand with the in-breath and soften back on the out-breath. Lovely. And then release. Just opening the eyes if they've been closed. Let's have a roll of the shoulders. Those nice crunchy shoulders. Forwards, up, back, and down. You might want to lift your elbows up quite high, just feeling into that movement. And then one elbow and the other, as we start to sort of mobilize a little into the upper back, thoracic spine. So you might want to just ease from side to side, perhaps go into a very gentle twist. As I move, I can smell my roses, which I can't believe I've still got so many roses in my garden at this time. Oh, they're delicious. And then lengthening through once more. And then we're going to take the right hand behind, the left hand over to the right knee. Take a breath in, breathing out, turn to look behind you. Using the breath, easing around. Taking the head behind. Feeling the twist. And enjoying that sensation of really mobilizing into the spine, the vertebrae. Coming round to the front and doing the same the other side, breathing in and breathing out, turning around. Nice. Lovely alignment, Lisa and Michelle. I don't know if you can lift up a little bit more, Linda. That's it, that's nice. Just create a little bit more space. Good. And then coming back to the center. Taking the hands into prayer and interlacing the fingers, taking the arms up. Breath in, and as you breathe out, we're just going to go from side to side. So again, that sense of lengthening, of opening. See if you can go a little bit further with each exhalation, with each movement. Let the head, the neck soften. So the head's just sort of rolling from side to side. I hear some little noises coming from the neck when you allow that process to happen. And then take the right arm down, place the hand on the floor, and let's just bend through the elbow of the right arm and ease over to the right. Arm straight past the ear. Lovely breaths into the left rib cage. Really feel you're filling up those lobes. What it's like to stretch from your fingertips all the way down to the hip. It's such a lovely feeling to stretch into that area. And then release, take a breath in, we ease the other way. Knowing this might be a little different, that's okay. Bend through the left elbow, taking the arm past the ear. Allowing the weight of the body to just surrender to gravity, taking the body closer to the earth. And then gently coming back up, sitting, the roll of the shoulders. And let's just loosen into the neck a little bit more. So again, feeling that elevation through the top of the head. Take a breath in, breathing out. Take the right ear down to the right shoulder. And if it feels comfortable for you, and only if it does, take the right hand to the head and just let the weight of the arm draw the head down. Just to release into the neck. So lovely. It's such a simple thing to do, but it's so pleasurable. And then lift the head back up again. Breathing in, breathing out the other side. So we're trying not to kind of take the body with it. We're just letting the head do its thing. And then hand onto the head. Drawing the left ear down to the left shoulder. Really feeling the breath. Using the breath in this to lengthen through the right side of the neck, the shoulder. And lifting back up. Taking a breath in, breathing out. And chin comes down to the chest. And then both hands around the back of the head and drawing the chin in if that feels comfortable. Good. And then we're going to lift the head and just take the head up. So we're not sort of contracting behind, but we feel like we're bringing the chin up to the ceiling. Fabulous. And then coming back to center. So we're going to come round into cat. Finding hands below the shoulders, the knees below the hips, that place of neutrality of the spine. So you're not sort of collapsing or overarching yet. And just really making sure that your fingers are beautifully spaced. It might be that you come back to the heels of the hands and then really press the hands down into the mat so that as much of your fingers is connecting with the ground. It really helps with the range of movement of the spine. And then similarly paying attention to the knees, the front of the legs, the lower legs, the tops of the feet. So connecting with the ground through these areas too. And then take a breath in, breathing out, pelvic floor, tummy button to the base of the spine. Feel that wave of movement as it comes up and through the body, chin tucking down and then softening back down, keeping the elbows really soft. There's no holding on in this area. Just easing up and back. Care of your spines, because it might be a while since you've done this, but as we're doing this, really allowing yourself to have that beginner's mind as to, oh, I wonder what's here in my spine, as if you've never really paid attention to it before, and start to bring a little bit of playfulness to it. So it might be that you do a little bit of a movement like pressing down into your hands more and rolling the shoulders forwards as your back arches up, and then rolling the shoulders back as your spine comes down. So sometimes we can get so stuck in our habits, we lose our attention. So at the beginning of a new term, it's good to really sense into what's here and do something a little different maybe. And then coming back into the center, and we're going to go round with a skipping rope coming through the spine, so bending through the elbows as you ease around. Just let the head go in a gentle, soft way, whichever feels right for you. And come quite deep down towards the ground, arching back up to the ceiling, and just making sure utilizing that movement, keeping the spine coming up and back, and moving your head, Neil, a little bit more than that, so that the head's just, you're still doing that same movement of dropping down and then lifting up and changing direction. So you're feeling it in the knees, the hips, the lower back, making sure the hands are separated as at shoulder distance apart or more. Nice. Back into the center. Just take your hands one hand length forwards. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, ease your bottom down towards your heels. Onto your heels. You might want to wriggle your hands forwards a little bit. Have a really good stretch of your upper back, opening up underneath the shoulders. So we form such tension underneath those shoulder blades. So it's lovely to be able to really open into those muscles, the intercostal muscles between the ribs in the back. And deep breaths into that area. And then from there, coming back up into cat, and we're going to take a breath in, and we're going to come into runner. So left foot forwards as we ease ourselves into runner. So just checking in if your knee needs something to support it underneath, a pad, a cushion or something. And then the left knee is going to come above the left ankle. If there doesn't feel like there's much of a stretch going on in that the front of the right leg, you might want to just wriggle the right leg back a little bit, coming onto your fingertips, roll the shoulders back, engaging the muscles down either side of the spine, and then looking forwards. And as you breathe out, sinking down into that posture. Good. So that stretch through the front of the leg. The shoulder blades are engaged. Fabulous. And then tucking, you might want to just rock back a little, tucking the toes of the right foot underneath. Take a breath in, breathing out. Let's come up off the knee, stretch out the hamstrings. So the heel's going away from you. Your fingertips or your knuckles or whatever feels right for you. Just enjoying that stretch of the hamstrings as the back of the knee elevates. Good. And then slowly back down, bring that leg back. Let's come into kneeling, have a roll of the shoulders a couple of times. And then we're going to do the same with the other leg. So back into cat, breathing in, breathing out, right foot forwards. And it might be that you feel that you can take your foot a little bit further this time. Right knee over the right ankle, coming up onto your fingertips. Remember to engage the muscles underneath the shoulder blades, drawing them down and looking ahead and dropping the pelvis down, feeling the breath. And every time you breathe out, that pelvis getting heavier. Feeling a lengthening through the spine. So as you look forwards, there's a real sense of opening of the spine. And then tuck the toes under, take a breath in, breathing out, lengthen through that back leg. Heel going away from you. Really enjoying that stretch if you're able to. And then slowly, when you're ready, bringing that knee back down. Let's come back into kneeling. Have another roll of the shoulders. And we're going to come into downward dog. So just making sure that you are staying up for as long as you feel comfortable to stay up. You know, if your wrists are starting to hurt, then please do come down, or if the breathing's impaired or you're just not feeling comfortable, come down, have a rest, and then come back up into it. It might be a while since you've been upside down, that's what I'm saying. So just seeing how your body responds to an inversion. So separating your fingers, tucking the toes under, taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, floating up. Keep the knees nice and soft. Deep breaths in. As you breathe out, pressing down with the hands, lengthening through the spine. And then just having a little walk with one leg straight, the other knee bent, changing over to the other side. And notice where your heels get to. Just being aware that your Just taking some time on each side. We're not rushing or trying to make anything happen like your heels on the floor. Just easing side to side. And then coming up onto your tippy toes, breathing in, and as you breathe out, the heels coming down towards or onto the floor. And at the same time, really paying attention to your spine. If you feel like your back has gone into a bit of an arch, then see if you can straighten that out a little bit. Sometimes it's good to walk the hands forwards or backwards, just to see if that makes a difference to the spine. And please remember to come down anytime you need to, and then maybe come back up in your own time. So just listening to your body, going on for it today. And then we're going to walk the hands to the feet to the hands, coming into hanging forward bend, softening through the knees, hooking the fingers underneath the toes. Take a breath in as you breathe out, straightening through the legs and drawing the body down towards the thighs. So let go in the head, the neck. Take a breath in, breathing out, let the right arm float up to the ceiling. Turn to look at that outstretched arm. Nice. Take the hand back as far as you possibly can. And then down. Breath in, breath out. Easing the other way. And then bringing that back down, breathing in, breathing out. Take both arms out to the side as you slowly start to come up to standing. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms up to the ceiling. We keep on going up. Good long stretch in standing. And then let's ease from side to side. And as you do this, start to press the hip out one side and then the other. So that really helps to open into the lower back. I'm loving your trousers, Michelle. And then slowly down. Have a roll of the shoulders. And a shake of the legs. Let's have a little bit of a shake all round. So let go in the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the ankles. Just have a little bounce and a shake. Oh, lovely. Great. Okay, so coming to a mountain, and let's just find a little stillness for a moment. Notice as we're standing in mountain, what's here. You might already start to feel the body loosening a little, and what that feels like for you. Have some softness, a bit more mobility in the joints. So even just standing still, we can start to feel that the joints have been mobilized. Okay, and then just have a little roll of the shoulders. So we're going to come into the back of the mat, making sure you've got enough space either side of you. We're going to be stretching the arms out to the side, so you may well want to kind of just change place a little bit. So we're going to do a very active coming in and out of warrior one. So bringing your hands together into prayer to begin with. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just a little step forwards, both arms back. As you breathe in, coming back to standing. And each time you step forwards, we're going just a little bit further. So it starts to become a little bit more of a balance as well, pressing through the heels of the hands, opening into the front of the chest, lifting the heart up to the sky. And starting to really make a stride now as you ease forwards. And then make the next one your last, so it's as big as you can go. And hold the hands there, bend through the left knee on over the ankle, push the heels of the hands out. Notice if you're going into a bit of a back bend. If you are, just drawing in through the core, tailbone down. Let's have a ease of the shoulders and the arms. We haven't done very much for the arms yet today, so just feeling into circling around. The back of the back leg open, lengthened, heel on the floor, circling back the other way. And then very gently let the hands come down and behind, wriggling them up behind your back, palms together, draw the elbows back. Nice deep breaths. You might be able to wriggle the hands right up to the thoracic spine. Just lift the head a little, looking upwards. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, contracting through the core, gently ease yourself forwards. Slowly, slowly does it. Taking your body weight down over the thigh if you can. Just hold it there. Then release the hands. Put the left hand down on the outer edge of the left foot. Take a breath in, and if you're able to, straighten that left leg. The right arm comes up to the ceiling and turn to look at the right arm. So you're going into a trikonasana of sorts. And it says now I've put my hand up. That's funny on my screen. And then we're going to come out of that exactly the same way as we went into it. So very gently bring your hand down. You can bend the knee a little, both hands behind your back. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, pressing down into that foot and coming up. That's hard and a balance. And then ease yourself back up. Have a shake. Great. And then standing nice and tall in mountain, just having a pause, close the eyes, noticing how it feels one side and the other. What it's like to be moving the body in this way. And then bringing the hands together in prayer and just easing forwards and backwards with the right foot this time. Taking your time. I tend to breathe in when I come forwards and breathe out when I come back. So really feeling that expansion, the heart lifting as you come through the shoulders and you stride more fully forwards. And then next time, make it a big step, big as you can go. You might want to wriggle forwards a little bit more. Heels of the hands away, circling through the shoulders. Good. So that front knee is bent, the back leg is straight, the heels on the ground. Take the arms forwards, so you might start to feel it in the shoulders and deltoids. Good. Let's take the arms back a little bit more. Just really feeling that opening through the front of the chest. And then easing the hands behind, palms together, wriggle them up as high as you can. Cross the thumbs if that's possible for you, elbows back, drawing in through the core. Take a breath in as you breathe out, easing yourself forwards, slowly and gently. Just feeling that balance, all those little movements to keep you upright, as in not falling over. And then take your right hand down to the floor next to your right foot, the left arm up to the ceiling, aligned with your right if you can, and then turn to look up at the left. If you're able to, you can straighten that front leg. So we go into a Trikonasana. Nice. Well done. And then we're slowly going to come back out of it just as we went into it. So take the hands behind, palms together, bending through the knee, and then gently and slowly coming up to standing. Ease yourself back and have another shake. Shake of everything. Just noticing how you feel coming into mountain. Maybe there's a sense now of lengthening up through the spine. Of opening into the body. And we're going to come into our standing posture and balance posture. So we're going to come into tree. So as we stand first in mountain, feeling those roots coming down through the soles of the feet. Really getting a sense of the ground. And if you feel a bit wobbly, knowing that you can move to a place where you feel you can support yourself. And then we're going to just take the body weight over to the left foot. Right knee comes out a little bit as the heel rests on the ankle. And then very gently, I'm going to ease the leg up, the foot up to wherever feels comfortable for you. Hands in prayer. Take a breath in, breathing out, just lifting up. Finding that fixed point, wherever it may be. Drawing in through the core, and every time you breathe in, feel that you're lifting up a little bit more. So you're really coming up out of the waist, the rib cage is coming up, creating space around the diaphragm. So good for breathing. Get that diaphragm opened. All those little micro movements keeping you there. Feeling the weight of your body going down through the leg. Good tree, Neil. And then gently and slowly coming down and having a shake. Nice. And coming back into standing, and when you're ready, easing over to the other side. Heel coming onto the ankle. Just notice how this is, and this side might be a bit more wobbly than the other, and just gently easing yourself up into your own form of your tree. Connecting in with the breath. Nice long breaths in and out, and lifting from the waist as you breathe in. As you breathe out, softening through the shoulders, just feeling the connection to the earth. All those little movements, keeping you steady. Done. And then gently ease yourself out of it. And just move in whichever way you feel you'd like to go. I feel like I was going to a bit of a twist. But listen to your own body. Good. Lovely. All right, so let's have a little lie down and give our knees a hug into the chest. And perhaps notice how that feels compared to how it was first thing this morning. And then take the arms out to the sides, breathing in and breathing out. Let the knees come over to the right side. If that feels really comfortable and isn't too much of a stretch in your lower back, and you'd like to stretch it some more, then just bring the left foot over the right knee and feel more of a twist. Turn the head to the left. And then bringing the knees together, lifting them up. Giving them another hug into your chest. Breath in and out. And then taking them over to the left side. If you'd like to stretch some more, just bring the right knee over the left. Turn the head to look behind you, the other direction. And relax in this position. And then ease yourself back up. And have a long stretch. Take the arms up, push the heels away, point the toes. Delicious long breaths in and out. And then just finding your layers, getting yourself comfortable. Put socks on. Maybe a blanket that's started to cool down again. Just finding whatever position feels right for you. Having a lie down. Yeah, maybe putting your feet up or And as your body settles, just notice how it feels to reconnect. We've moved every joint in the body this morning, mobilized every single part of us, and noticing what the effect of that is. And it may well be that you'd like to bring some gratitude to the body. Such gratitude, saying thank you, what the body was able to do this morning. Also, thank you for making this commitment to yourself, to your own health and well-being. Just allowing the body to settle. And as you give yourself this time and space, I'm just going to read to you a poem called The Most Important Thing. I'm making a home inside myself, a shelter of kindness, where everything is forgiven, everything allowed. A quiet patch of sunlight to stretch out without hurry, where all that has been banished and buried is welcomed, spoken, listened to, released. A fiercely friendly place I can claim as my very own. I am throwing arms open to the whole of myself, especially the fearful, fault-finding, falling apart, unfinished parts, knowing every seed and weed, every drop of rain has made the soil richer. I will light a candle, pour a hot cup of tea, gather around the warmth of my own blazing fire. I will howl if I want to, knowing this flame can burn through any perceived problem, any prescribed perfectionism, any lying limitation, every heavy thing. I am making a home inside myself, where grace blooms in grand and glorious abundance, a shelter of kindness that grows through all the truest things. I whisper Alleluia to the friendly sky, and watch now as I burst into blossom. Just sensing into the breathing. The sensations of the body. And the more subtle layers of energy, emotion, connection. So starting to deepen the breath, drawing in that prana, the life force. If you feel you wish to move, to end your practice here, of course you can stay on for as long as you wish. Having a stretch or a hug of the knees to the chest, or whatever your body feels will be really supportive for you. And then taking your time to gently roll over onto your side. And then easing yourself up to sitting when you're ready. And then when you get there, a lovely long stretch. Take a breath in and breathing out. Oh, namaste. So lovely to be back and to see you all. Thank you.